Happy Tuesday, and welcome to the Rama from Satsang practice session, where you'll learn a modern Satsang method for obtaining peace, light, and love in your life. My name is Eddie, and I will be introducing the facilitator for today's event. But first, I'd like to give you a brief overview of the Satsang session. If you'll direct your attention towards your screen, you'll see the first element is Satsang. Satsang is a scientific method whereby we may obtain peace, light, and love in our life. It requires no physical skill, spiritual accomplishment, or meditation experience to begin its practice. Satsang consists of two words, Sat and Sang. Sat means positive energy, and Sang means to be with or to be in the presence of. Therefore, the word Satsang means to be in the presence of positive energy. The next element is meditation. Meditation is an important part of Satsang. When we meditate, we will draw consciousness from worldly objects and direct it inwards to focus on a single thought. In doing so, our minds become calm and our thoughts become pure, thereby allowing us to obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. Inner orientation. There are two types of Satsang, inner Satsang and outer Satsang. An example of outer Satsang would be chanting or attending pilgrimages. When we practice outer Satsang, we have the potential to change our behavior, but only through the practice of inner Satsang can we obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. The Satsang that you will learn today is an inner Satsang where we meditate in silence. Group session. These practice sessions are structured for group participation. When we meditate as a group, our focus is improved and our personal progress along our spiritual path is expedited. By regularly attending these practice sessions, the benefits of group participation are amplified. Joy and inner happiness. All beings wish to experience joy. Joy is the eternal longing of the soul, but only through the practice of inner Satsang can we obtain a joyous state. Each time we practice Satsang, our inner happiness gradually increases, ultimately culminating in a state of joy, which we experience 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And now, I'd like to introduce the facilitator for today's, first we'll give you a brief overview of this Satsang session, the agenda. The agenda consists of 3 parts, the informative session, the practice session, and the interactive session. During the informative session, a lecture will be given about a Satsang topic, the founder, or some relevant spiritual topic. During the practice session, you'll receive instructions on how to meditate, followed by a period of practice. During the interactive session, you have the opportunity to ask questions, or there'll be a panel discussion. And now I'd like to introduce the facilitator for today's event. He has over 40 years of Satsang experience. He's the grandson of Guru Maharaj, the founder of Rama from Satsang. He was born into a Satsang family where he experienced his family members obtain states of enlightenment and lead lives of peace, light, and love. At an early age, he began traveling with the mission throughout India, facilitating Satsangs. And during that time, he witnessed the positive effects that Satsang could have on mankind. And upon arriving to the United States, both he and his wife continued to facilitate Satsangs for local Satsangis. He has led teams of Satsang members in translating important Satsang literature into English and has worked tirelessly to make Satsang more accessible to Western and English-speaking audiences. He currently travels throughout the United States, India, and England, facilitating Satsangs while maintaining his duties as a husband, a father, and an IT executive. Today, he will teach us a rare and ancient form of Satsang as taught by Guru Maharaj. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Sanjeev Kumarji.
So happy Tuesday, everyone. Glad that we are here in Satsang. Thanks, Eddie. Today, basically, I want to talk about how this process of uplifting yourself through Satsang works. So there is this pyramid basically talks about 5 steps. Um, and these 5 steps are essentially milestones. It's a model of the journey to self-realization. This was, um, talked about in Upanishads, ages ago. But, what's on the right side of the screen is basically, things that I have taken from a book by the authors of um, the Chicken Soup series, and they have a book called Power of Focus, very aptly titled there, and there they have described the level of being. So how we could be at lower levels and higher levels. So they do talk about this vertical ascent. So, and differentiating it with the horizontal movement, which is in terms of time, the past, the present, and future. So if we continue to do what we, um, you know, uh, just repeat our routine, we're not necessarily uplifting ourselves or ascending vertically. And that vertical ascent takes effort. And that's what meditations and some of the other methods to get to what I call the target state of, pure unconditional love, light, which is knowledge, and essentially where our brains are functioning far more effectively, and then peace. So it's light, love, and peace. To get to that state of light, love, and peace, what do we go through? Um, so interestingly, before describing this uh, level of being in the book, they also talk about that there are outer events in the world, and then there is the reaction, or how we feel, or how do we react to so outer events, how do they affect us? And that is through our internal states. So map of internal states, basically, you take anything like, my father used to um, talk about, he used to take an example that if somebody found a person, completely passed out on the ground, um, different people will interpret it differently, their empathy, their reaction, and what they would do, their action, would not be the same. So, how do we react to these outer events is based on our internal states. And this, you know, so essentially, it's almost like, at the lower level, we are very focused on safety and survival, very self-centered. And what keeps, increasing through this process of lifting ourselves upwards is our intuitiveness, giving more than taking, our personal, or what I call inner strength, our inner strength that gives us the ability to do the right thing. Well, that continues to, so it's lower at the lower and continues to grow higher and higher as we climb through the pyramid. High self-esteem, motivates from within. All those things, again, interestingly, I was listening to, you know, a video of Prabhupada, who basically established the Hare Rama, Hare Krishna mission, or ISKCON, the Krishna consciousness. And he was saying that at the lower end, like if we take, let's just take one example of love, what people talk about in the realm of the world, he said it's not love, it is lust. It's very transactional. It's very, very give and take mechanism. But as you grow and get to the top, which is the Krishna consciousness, according to him, unconditional giving, unconditional love, that is, pure. It is a state which is almost unfathomable for lots of people in this world. Harmlessness to all, follows inner voice, and inner voice, and this is not the voice of our own mind. It's more of the conscience, and that at higher consciousness level, that becomes far more stronger. It's so very feeble at the lower levels. Experiences no resistance. So that is another thing. Like when we live life with purpose, when we are focused on, it's like, and that purpose becomes the greater good, and in doing that, the person experiences no resistance. Otherwise, there are so many reasons why you wouldn't do that. Anyway, so I just wanted to kind of revisit this. What I also feel is like, I was talking to some folks recently, and I felt that, our practice that we will do shortly is focused on the realm of mind. We start there, because mental resilience is very, very important, and even to in the lower levels, you're toning your body. So at the top of the realm of the world, your physical well-being, that's the physical world, and physical well-being is the entire focus. So, but at the top of the first realm, you should be very, very fit, very, very, physically, the well-being, the physical well-being should be in top shape. But it's not the case, because until and unless you have mental resilience, your ability to do some of the other things that are, that will make even your physical well-being better, you need your mind to be in it. So Guru Maharaj, my grandfather, when he started this practice, basically he said, start with the mind. If you focus on mental resilience, then, and you do make all the effort to be mentally resilient, if you do that, everything else, so, the lower realms are taken care of, and the higher realms, once you have, control on emotions, control on your thought processes, and that gives you mental powers, focus, and concentration. And with that, you get through the higher realms. And before you do that, you have to definitely, like, mental resilience and physical, well-being are very, very deeply connected. So there is, I think I like this model because one, wherever we are, we can go higher. That's one thing that it depicts for me. And the second thing is that mind is in the middle. So tackle your mind, and the chances are that you will be able to tackle, uh, you know, uh, so realm of life is nothing but like breath work, which helps concentration of your mind as well. And then realm of the world is, uh, pretty much eat, drink, and be merry. Situation changes as you decide to, uh, you know, uh, ascend upwards. And realm of knowledge is where, your toned, concentrated, focused mind then, you know, uh, it gives you the ability to really um, have your brain functioning at an efficiency level that you have not, uh, experienced before. And that's, there's a lot of talk these days about the third eye. That's what this realm is all about. And then realm of love at the top is when uh, get this knowledge that you are so connected with everything around you. Then this unconditional giving, unconditional love appears. And that, once you feel complete, and self-reliant, that's when peace comes. So that's the whole journey. Um, so basically, what we will do now is to focus. How do we focus our mind? How do we meditate in a way that it's uplifting? So there are, Maharishi Patanjali, one of the masters of yoga philosophy, described Ashtanga Yoga, which has 8 limbs. Out of the 8, the 4 limbs that are meditative practices, that's what my grandfather decided to focus on. And so inward orientation and concentration is where you begin your practice, and that's what we'll do now. And that leads to deeper silent meditation, and that leads to higher consciousness. So that's these 4 are very integral to our practice, and most of the meditative practices have, their focus might differ a little bit between the 4, but pretty much have these elements and that growth path. So for inward orientation and concentration, what you do is first eyes lightly closed, because the sensory input is distracting your mind, and sit in a relaxed and still posture, because every time the body moves, your mind moves with it, and we want to concentrate. But what to concentrate on? So here we focus, or we try to manifest, transcendental energy in form of light. So transcendental light is our, object of concentration. And that, so basically the idea is that we think of, or imagine, or start manifesting this transcendental light, in which is entering your heart, distributing throughout your body, and you're becoming one with this light. So the whole idea is that the source is not far away. It's right here, right now with you. And Feel that presence, feel that, source right here, right now. And this light is entering your heart, enlightening your heart, and then it's distributing throughout your body. So you are becoming the light inside and out. You're just surrounded by this powerful, uplifting energy in form of light. And when mind wanders away, which it will, natural. Um, so when mind wanders away, bring it back to this thought and this thought alone, that, uh, you know, um, that transcendental energy in form of light is right here, right now, and it's entering your heart, distributing throughout your body, and you're becoming totally immersed in it. So we'll start with music that helps concentration, then music fades away, and you go in deep silent meditation. We will transition out with music again. Let's start now. happy Tuesday, everyone. So any thoughts, questions, comments? You can also put them in the chat or unmute, ask. So any thoughts on this model, the 5 steps to nirvana? Yeah, Eddie.
It was very interesting how you tied the 3 levels with the 5 steps to nirvana. And I asked myself, how many people would admit to having behaviors associated with the first level? With the world of the realm of the world and the realm of life. How many people would actually admit to that? And then I thought to myself, probably not many, but those who did admit to behaving in those ways and having those attitudes and thoughts and so forth are probably the ones who are sitting here today, because those are the ones who looked inside and said, I see these things in myself and I want to change. And then they look for the method to do it, and that's what we provide here. So I thought that was very an interesting presentation. And I just truly believe that people who you would look at that chart and you'd ask them, do you think you have these characteristics, these attributes? Do you think you behave in this way? And most people, thinking the best of themselves, would say, no, absolutely not. The second level, that's more me. This is what I'm more like. I care about people. I'm passionate about, other people, and I'm self-reliant, and all these other things. And those are positive attributes and virtues that we all want. The reality is not that, though. And so I just thought that it was an interesting presentation, and just a food for thought, in terms of how many people would actually admit to having those lower virtues.
So what is also interesting, so I had that in the chart, but didn't talk about it, that the first 3 levels are lunar realms, or where the light is being reflected from somewhere else. You don't have the light of your own. But then the above, the top 2 levels are solar realms, where now you have light of your own. And like in all religions and all, uh, we tend to depict, like around Buddha, there is this aura of light, and what it depicts is that you have attained this level of higher consciousness and higher awareness, that it's that light, so you become the light in so many ways, not just figuratively, literally. Yeah, it's a fascinating model, because I was thinking that, if you look at the yoga philosophy, the asanas and pranayams, so basically first tone your body, because if you don't have, physical well-being, then, the further climb up, which takes effort, will be more difficult. So then you tone your breath, because breath helps concentration, but breath also, it kind of, before you tackle your mind, if you tackle deep breathing techniques, and literally, like, now there are techniques through which you can physically, um, you know, um, like literally exhale the toxins out of your body through breathing. So it's uh, even further better health and better concentration, and then tackling the mind, because there is a lot of I mean, literally, like, we can make our mind very positively oriented, or literally a garbage can of like negative energy and negative thoughts and negative this and negative that. And I see that's more prevalent than not. Why do we bring negativity within ourselves when we know it's not necessarily helping? So I don't know, it's cultural, it's, we can't help ourselves, or what is making us become more and more negative rather than more and more positive? And you see people feel actually good talking negative about other people, for example, or, um, while they, it's like when you're talking negative about other people through even humor is now very, negativity centric. And who is that helping? I don't understand. Um, maybe it gives you some brief, um, you know, um, I don't know. It's just mind-boggling to me. But the first three realms, literally, it's like through any practice, if you get to tone your body, your breathing, and your mind, you will have then the ability to literally cruise control to the land of peace, to the land of pure, divine, phenomenally unconditional and love and giving, uh, clarity of purpose, clarity of a thought process that comes beyond those three realms. It's actually, we have talked about this, that it's your brain gets rewired, brain gets, it's a different shape, has the ability to um, enable capabilities that were just not effective before. So any questions, comments from anyone else before we wrap up for today? Is it, so I see AC, Jeff, Steve, hello everyone, and Rajat, Omkar, Renuji, Shivangi, and is that K? Is that first time? Or you have been here before?
No, I've been here before.
No, okay. So is that K or?
It's Kazar.
Kaiser. So how do you find these sessions?
I find them very good, very calming. Especially after a hectic week, it's nice to
Relax.
center yourself.
Yeah. Refresh and re-energize.
Yes, sir.
So any questions, any other thoughts?
Not today. That's
Yeah.
pretty much. I needed this meditation today to clear my head, but no questions. More like continuously growing with it.
That's awesome. Really, yeah, it is actually time for most of us to, like, after meditation, absorb the energy. So, the post meditation, it's best to be quiet, but somebody needs to, still speak about the process and talk about something which is still engaging enough to continue to the process of absorbing. So somebody has to be disturbed. Sometimes after these sessions, there are times when I just don't want to speak at all. But then, unfortunately, our culture has become such that even a little bit of silence becomes very uncomfortable.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So where do you live?
I live in Panama City, Florida.
All right. Nice. Very nice. Yeah. Glad that we all were here, and have a great week ahead, everyone. And love, light, and peace be with you. Just keep practicing. And I'm telling you, the phenomenal um, uh, results can come from a concentrated mind. I mean, that whole book, Power of Focus, I mean, it's like step by step, it talks about, like, you can transform your life in so many ways, that it's unreal. And so concentrated mind can give you a lot of materialistic outcomes too, but those who continue to use that to go even further higher towards higher consciousness and higher awareness, reap the real benefits. So with that note, have a great week ahead, and let's be here in Satsang soon. Take care.
Thank you, Sanjiji. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Good night.